alpha males are so goofy nowadays.
I am massively famous. If you just send me videos that some loser made about me all day, you would just send me messages all day because I'm at that level.
Awkward.
On some level, that she can have fun right now, and at least on some level as well, she understands that like at least she can actually acquire things quite easily.
Cringe weirdos.
I dropped out of high school because if I had to sit behind a desk and work a corporate job the rest of my life, I'd myself in the head. I mean that. Whoever it is you want to be, just act like that person, whether people are watching or not. And eventually, it's going to become you. I acted like a millionaire long enough, and I became one. So many people ask me, Vince, what do you think about crypto, Bitcoin, XRP, etc.? Like, what about XRP?
I studied Da Vinci a lot. Da Vinci has this incredible quote. He says, to develop a complete mind, study the... Let me say it again.
They're all following the Andrew Tate playbook by saying the most ridiculous things to get attention and then sell you something.
So many women say to me, you're so, Andrew, you know what? You're so rich, but you're smart and you're actually very intelligent. And I know you'd get really bored of like a robot. And I'm sitting there thinking, bitch, I wish to God you were a robot.
Whether that's a course with regurgitated, unhelpful information, a coaching program.
When I make my money, I have programs. So one of my programs is $47 a month. Don't ask about that one. That's not the one you want. That's for broke boys and penny pinching motherfuckers. It'll give you some dive advice, some training advice. You can get on the Zoom call, and that has 15,000 people at $47 a month. So do the fucking math.
Or some type of membership to an exclusive club. Again, that doesn't really help anyone, and more often than not functions like a pyramid scheme.
Capital Club, Luke's private community founded in 2019, which in the past has cost up to $15,000 just to join. Just like Andrew Tate's The Real World, it features an ambassador program, which is more commonly called a multi-level marketing operation or just a classic pyramid scheme.
The thing is, Andrew Tate was always a little cringe, but at least he had charisma and a kind of believability. Whereas this alpha male Andrew Tate clone is completely lacking Tate's charisma, while also giving bad and somewhat harmful advice to younger people, while making up the most insane stories that never happened.
When I got older, I said, I really want to go and train with the Shaolin Monks. Then I went out there. First of all, they don't accept you. You have to wait outside of the temple. When they let you in, they teach you things that are unbelievable. You don't understand that they are the strongest people in the world and they don't their whole life. And there's more secrets that I can't share.
Like seriously, there are comments under every single post of his on TikTok saying this didn't happen about whatever outrageous story he's telling. It's just hilarious. But I'm Jew, welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it.
You see, an A student is the perfect employee. He works for me and he does his job perfectly. A B student, now that's my manager. My managers are great, but they're always going to be managers. The C students, now those are business owners. D is between a business owner and an inventor. It's someone that owns a business, but truly wants to invent something, he just doesn't know how to do it. The F students are inventors. They're creators. They're so fucking creative that they couldn't sit in class. They couldn't listen, because whatever people were trying to put in their head, they knew it was fucking bullshit. So if you're a young boy and you're in a situation where you're an F student, let me tell you something, you got a bright future, buddy.
This is what I mean by some of his content and advice is so dumb it's actually harmful. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of our school system in America. I think things could be done so much better. I think students should be taught real life skills and have classes about personal finance, budgeting, credit, all that type of stuff that will actually carry people into adulthood. But at the same time, going to school and getting an education, especially early on, is really important. If after you graduate high school, you have a better plan than college, you want to start a trade, go be a barber or an electrician, go for it. But anyone listening to him now thinks they're a failure if they have a 4.0 or 3.0. If they don't have an F, that they're doing something wrong, and that is crazy. I really think this comment says it best. The F students are janitors. What bro says me after failing year 12. And that's not to talk bad about janitors, but more than likely, a F student is an F student for a reason. Not just because they're so smart that they're so bored in school that they don't even apply themselves. And just promote that kids that get Fs are secret geniuses is just a bad look, because how many people actually listen to him and look up to him that just won't apply themselves or think they'll be doing good by dropping out of school without a better plan? It's a bad look.
What kind of student are you?
Like the B and C's.
Are you the inventor? What are you going to be?
I would like to be an inventor.
What do you want to be though?
I'd like to be like engineer, like study medicine.
Imagine a kid being too ashamed to say I get A's and B's. And even at 13 years old, he already knows he wants to either study medicine or engineering. But he has this goofball right here making him feel bad that he actually wants to pursue a career that requires good grades and degrees. This is why I say a lot of these alpha males just don't know what they're talking about. They don't have the lived experience to really speak on a lot of things that they do. Just because you made it, if you did make it without an education, doesn't mean everyone else will. Whether people want to admit it or not, sometimes education is the only thing separating people from six-figure careers to minimum wage.
One of the questions that I get asked by young boys mostly is, will I ever become a millionaire going to school? And you know what my question to them is? When you're in school, are you allowed to leave school?
No, you're stuck there.
And if you don't go to school, what happens?
They'll call your parents, and if you don't show up for a few days, they'll even call the authorities.
Exactly. Now, what does it remind you of?
Jail. Why is that?
The school system was created and built and designed to be exactly like a prison. The hallways look like jail. The cafeterias look like jail. The only time you're allowed to leave school is when the bells ring. That is exactly why the school is not built for people to actually succeed in life and become millionaires. So if you ever want to become rich, you want to stay away from the school system.
Damn.
That was dumb, not deep. All the alpha males do this. They give one nugget of like good knowledge or information and then just say whatever they want behind it. If you're young, go to school, get your grades, get your degrees. If you have something better to do or a better idea of what you want to do with your life, then pursue that 100%. But don't just drop out of school and do nothing because some musclehead on TikTok said to.
So I shared it multiple times. In Israel, most of the people that are in the military, they work in counterterrorism. They fight terrorists. But when you are somebody who is born in a different country, you now have multiple passports, it is better to hire you. They came to me and asked me to work with them for the unit that I worked in. It's called a clear unit. Clear means that there's no name, you don't know anything, you don't know anybody. This unit does not exist. That's why it's called a clear unit. You work directly with people that nobody's ever heard of. And all you do is you go on a mission. Whenever there is a problem, if there's a terrorist right now in France, I have to go catch him in France. I was almost killed multiple times, ready to have my head chopped off.
Have you ever anyone?
Bro is the king of tall tales, and it's so convenient that he always tells these stories that can't be validated in any way. He's part of a secret unit that nobody's ever heard of, that nobody can get in contact with, that there is no tracking of. And now he's talking about it on TikTok.
From that point on, my dad knew he couldn't take on. Now I was 13. He picked up a stick, a wooden stick, and he went to hit me over the head. And I did this, and it broke. And then I took it out of his hand, threw it on the floor, kicked him in the leg, picked him up, and threw him on the coffee table. Coffee table broke in half.
That didn't happen.
That's the beauty, that we are actually superhuman. We just don't unlock these genes because we don't put our body and our mind through the pressure. There is something called microfractions. Little microfractions that you cause with hitting the bone thickens the bone. I used to sit there and hit my shins with a hammer all fucking day. Your head is the strongest bone in the body. And if you train it and bang it enough for a whole year, it becomes 4 times thicker. When we hurt, we cry. And I learned that at a young age. That's what I learned from the Shaolin Monks. Go watch them when they spar, when they battle, or when they have a fight. Boom, they turn their head. Wherever you're hitting, they just turn their head. You punch their head, you're breaking your hand.
Bro literally be talking nonsense. This is stuff that you think and do when you're a kid. Quick story time. When I was like 11 years old, I knew I had to fight a very rotund kid at the bus stop the next day. Like it was gonna happen. So I knew I needed a little extra strength to fight this dude. So in my preteen brain, I went outside of my grandmother's house and I started like jabbing her brick wall, thinking it would make my hands harder and I could knock the dude out. It didn't help. It didn't work. They got weight classes for a reason. My point is, he did not do this. He was not hitting his shins with a hammer to make them stronger. He would be crippled if so. And again, his comments are calling cap. Top 10 stories that never happened. That did not happen. Bro, the hoes aren't watching. Right. Stop telling these tall tales. It's unnecessary. This did not happen, little bro. And I know he was talking about the Shaolin Monks like he had some up close personal experience watching them train, but he's really just talking about a YouTube video.
Lights went out for a second, but he just waits and says, "Give me your best shot," and he has plenty of them. And still he comes.
But of all his lore drops, this Shaolin Monk one might be the funniest.
Do you know that the Shaolin Monks don't ever in their life? When I was first of all younger, before I arrived to the US, I used to watch Bruce Lee all the time. We moved here, I didn't speak any fucking word in English. What I did find was a Chinese restaurant right across the street
When I used to go there, eventually the owner fell in love with me. There it was about 3:30 to 4:30. It was the time that I left school, and I would come to him. He would move all of the tables, and he would teach me Kung Fu. I was 10 years old. It was different, and I loved it. From there, when I got older, I said, I really want to go and train with the Shaolin Monks. Then I went out there. First of all, they don't accept you.
How did you get in?
You have to wait outside of the temple. When they let you in, they teach you things that are unbelievable. You don't understand that they are the strongest people in the world, and they don't their whole life. And there is more secrets that I can't share.
This man's life story is all over the place with all these fabricated stories that cannot be validated. This comment actually explains it best. Okay, so let's get this right. His family came here. His dad was abusive, kicked out of 16 schools. He beat up his dad and became homeless, got into the streets and sent to jail. He made millions in his construction business until his best friend betrayed him. He made millions from inventions, retired, traveled the world, trained at the Shaolin Temple, came back because social media needed him. Where does this decade of counterterrorism come into with zero military experience? Also, why is it always super black ops with no record? Real funny.
You see, when someone asks you how much money you make, what they're trying to do is they're trying to calculate how much respect they should be giving you. If you make $1 million a year, but you have to ask for permission to skip work tomorrow and answer to a boss, to me, you don't make that much money.
If a person makes $1 million, whether they have a boss or not, they made $1 million, which is probably more than he can say.
Because money is something that's infinite. They print it out daily, and you're selling your highest form of currency, which is your time. Wealthy people buy their time back by paying for these things, like somebody doing their laundry, somebody mowing their lawn, somebody even cooking their food. When you understand that time is absolutely the most important thing in the world, you will start doing everything at a higher speed to buy your time back. Stop thinking like you're poor and start thinking like you're wealthy.
His correlations are all over the place. Time is the most important thing in the world, but most people have to work a 9 to 5. They have to build a career. They have to save money. They have to invest. They have to build their lives through their work. And just thinking like you're rich or acting like you're rich and outsourcing a bunch of stuff won't make you rich. If anything, it might set you back, especially when you're on the come up. You need to be saving and investing every penny you can so that it compounds over time and your investments can make money for you while you're sleeping. In addition to him making up life stories that 100% didn't happen and giving his audience bad advice, he also just says a whole bunch of nothing sometimes.
God wanted us to be naked. If you go back to the beginning of time, Adam and Eve, when they arrived to the world, what were they wearing?
They were born naked.
Naked. And when Eve ate from the apple and had Adam eat from the apple, what did Eve do?
She covered herself.
How did God find out that they ate from the apple? What did he ask her?
What are you wearing?
Yeah, why are you covered? And that's why he kicked us out of Garden of Eden. God wanted us to be naked. All of a sudden, if you're a Christian, you have to be fully covered. If you're a Jew, you're supposed to be fully covered. If you're a Muslim, you cover all the way up to your eyes. Is that trying to control, or is that God?
Control.
Because do you remember the booty that you saw at the beach 2 days ago? No! I've been to clubs. I don't remember any of the girls. I've been with thousands of women myself. I don't remember the smell of their hair. How can we remember? The world moves. And who says that my girl is my girl?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
All these alpha males are just getting weirder and weirder and weirder. I saw a comment somewhere that said if there was no social media, all these alpha males would be gym bros trying to holler at teenagers in there. And I think that's 100% accurate. This guy's cringe as hell. He's talking about nonsense half the time. He really doesn't give any good life advice that somebody can take and build themselves up. But at least one thing I will say is I don't see him selling or offering a course anywhere. I could be wrong. I checked his TikTok. I checked other places. But it just seems like he's trying to build up his TikTok and social media presence. At the end of the day, do not listen to any of these guys. Don't buy their courses or coaching programs. If you need to improve your physical health, eat more healthy. Stay away from sugars and sodas. Go to the gym. Get your cardio in. If you need to improve your finances, get a budget. Pay off your debts little by little and stay away from debt as much as possible. If you're working and not making enough money, keep working your way up the corporate ladder, figuring out what you need to do to take that next step. Maybe you need certifications or training or whatever the case. Do that. And once you have yourself straight and in a good place physically, financially, mentally, all of that, then you can worry about relationships. But until then, it's grind time. That's really all you need to focus on. But yeah, let's add this dude to the goofy alpha male list. He's not as obnoxious as some of the other guys like Vincent Fisher or Wes Watson, but he still gave terrible advice with these made up life stories. But thanks for watching. Y'all let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, make sure you check out the next video and don't forget to follow me on Instagram for behind the scenes and life stuff. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.